Hello everyone, this is Jamie version 1 here to talk about AEW's first live TV event on TNT. Um, Overall thoughts and just general discussion. This will be a weekly show that I will be doing, just reviewing all their TV shows and everything that they're showing on TNT, just see how it goes and everything. Because, what can I say, I'm a big fan. General thoughts. It was good. It was actually surprisingly really good. There's still a few issues I find that as they're doing their editing and video and everything, I find that the cameraman still needs a bit of work and the sound quality is still not the best, coming out still a bit too quiet on the entry music. But the overall show, like I like the setup, the chandeliers. A lot of people have been saying they hate it, but it's growing on me. It's growing on me. Anyways, first show really. Where do I start? Not too much talking. Got straight into the action with Cody Rhodes versus Sammy Guevara, which was good overall. Sorry, I keep pausing because I keep trying to remember what I saw. um, yeah, it was all right. It was a lot of action packed, but I just found like that they kind of didn't let Sammy Guevara really give out all he's got. I've seen some of like his outside work beforehand where he's done stuff in the past, and the stuff that man can do is just absolutely fantastic. I felt like they had to strict him down due to Cody Rhodes being such a technical wrestler that they couldn't quite let him do what he wanted to do. But in all fairness, that's just like a thing that comes with it, and I hope eventually they'll put him up against someone that can really push him to his limits. And that I would actually quite like to see Sammy Guevara go up against someone like Kenny Omega, who's capable of like countering high flying maneuvers and doing all that. I just feel like it would be much more fun. Yeah, and the finish was kind of predictable. Cody Rhodes and that obviously won and everything, which made the most sense. At the end of the day, what more result do you want? They kind of stated from the start that wins and losses matter, and I think a lot of people want to see the Cody Rhodes versus Chris Jericho match at Full Gear. So, what more were they going to do? And and also after that, you had the attack on Cody Rhodes as well, which I feel like was really kind of well thought out, good story planning, good stuff like right there. Like, it was fairly predictable the minute I heard the crowd pop and Cody's just like sat there with Sammy Guevara just trying to keep it cool, as they say. And yeah, that was all good in all fairness. Anyways, I'm not going to dull on it so much because I will do probably a separate video going on about what I think about the whole Chris Jericho versus Cody Rhodes at Full Gear. Moving on from there, MJF, man, like, what a fantastic bloke. Like, I really can't fault him. He's absolutely brilliant. He's good at cutting promos. He's good at messing about his opponent. He's just a typical head fuck. Like, he's just brilliant. Unfortunately, Brandon Cutler, like, just didn't stand a chance, really. Like, as much as he was showing off some pretty cool moves and that, I kind of think the crowd knew the result before it was over. And yeah, MJF took the win and everything. What more can I say? I hope to see more from MJF, and I hope he gets to do a lot more promos because the man is talented. Also, then after that, you had the SCU promo. What SCU have been on the circuit for so long. Like Christopher Daniels, he's been there for like years, and he knows how to cut a promo left, right, and center, and the whole kind of like Lucha Brothers coming out and like having their little fist fight and everything. I felt like that was very kind of old school, like WCW way of cutting promos at the top of the ramp and everything. But yeah, there's not much more to say than that, other than I think with the way the tag team tournament's going, I would kind of like to see. I know they're like saying the Lucha Brothers, they've just come off this massive win from the Young Bucks, but I just find that they could probably, we could probably do without constantly seeing them as good as they are. It would be kind of nice to show off some other talents. I think SCU could fill that void, as well as Jurassic Express. I find like that they're very very good in the ring, very technical, and they're constantly improving as well, which is just Lucha Brothers have kind of already shown us what they can do. It'd be kind of cool to see what some of these other tag teams can do and really build on that. Moving on from that, you had the Hangman versus Pac, which was just bloody fantastic. Sorry, I'm like really tired from staying up stupid o'clock to watch it. So my mind's a bit fuddled. Um, yeah. Anyways, where was I? God's sakes, Jamie. Hangman versus Pac. There we go. Hangman versus Pac. That was really good once again. Like Pac's just brilliant in the ring. He's a very technical guy. Knows how to play it off. I did find that beginning bit a bit too dull. Like it just felt like it took him ages to get in that ring. I get I get it. It's what he does. But it was just like, come on, get on with it, man. And overall, it was just really fun, a really good match. Nice to see that like Hangman isn't suffering too bad after that loss, and is still able to put on a hell of a show in that. And Pac's just always brilliant. I'm more interested to see where it goes now because this is Pac's second big win. It's not it's not many wrestlers that can say they've took on Kenny Omega and come out of a loss as well as go on from that to Hangman Page and come out of another it's just fantastic. Did I say loss? Win. Anyways, moving on from that before I make an absolute botch of this. We're going to move on to the Women's Championship match, which was Riho versus Nyla, which was... I feel like there was a few botches in there, if I'm being honest. Like I'm trying to be fair here, not try and be too biased and just say to the whole thing oh, it's brilliant, it's fantastic, because I am an AEW fan. But at the end of the day, there were a few mistakes that were fairly obvious, and it did show. But it was still fantastic. Riho really took it home. She walked out there with kind of all right pop, but nothing that was massive. You didn't a lot of people walked into that thinking Nyla was going to take it home, but by the end of the match, when that 1-2-3 count hit, everyone just was standing up, giving it a round of applause. It was really good. And that, then I take it off that attack, they're going to think about doing some mixed max tag team shenanigans, because you had Kenny Omega coming out to defend her, so I'm assuming we're building to some kind of mixed max tag, chaos. But overall, yeah, I feel like she was the one to win it. I think the only thing she's going to struggle with is maybe cutting a few promos here and there, because obviously, she has done promos, but with the subtitles, her English not being good, and the fact that AEW's main audience is American, and I'm a UK citizen, but I'm not really bothered by the subtitles, but I know that there probably will be a few people that, I don't like to read while watching stuff. And no, overall it was really good. I really can't complain. Like I said, there's a few botches. I still find that AEW's sound team need to work a bit harder, because the music's still far too quiet, far too quiet. It's just come on guys, come on. Moving on from that, just to the main event, we had the Elite versus Jericho, and then we had the I can't call them LAX anymore because they're not called that anymore. What are they called? Ortiz and Santana, that's it. Ortiz and Santana. Yeah, that was kind of cool in that. I found it kind of weird seeing Kenny Omega get over that whole depression stage so quickly and kind of being oh, I'm back. But then I like that they spun it with Jon Moxley coming out and attacking him to everyone's surprise. And yeah, that Death Rider through that glass table was just that was crazy. That was generally mental. There was a moment where I was just sat there thinking, you actually generally think that he's gone and killed him. How the fuck do you survive glass going to your head like that? That was savage. But yeah, the general match then played out as it was a 3 versus 2. It was a handicap match, so constantly the Young Bucks are trying to fend off from Chris Jericho, Ortiz and Santana, and they're all ganging up on them and taking them on. There was a few moments where it looked like the Young Bucks might just pull off some miracle win against them, but surely enough it didn't work out for them, sadly. Chris Jericho hit the Judas effect, the most weirdest finisher ever. It's an elbow strike to the face. Come on. You have some of these other guys that pull off finishers that look like they should break your neck. but his elbow to the face apparently, no one can kick out of it. So what can I say? It must be effective. Must be very effective. Um, Other than that, we have then the whole after shenanigans as well, where they continued the attack on the Young Bucks, and then Cody ran out and he was going to get revenge for like Chris Jericho attacking him after his Sammy Guevara match. And then of course Sammy Guevara came out, and this is what was quite interesting, like story planning on their part, because at the end of the match we had Sammy Guevara like shake hands with Cody Rhodes and everything. So we thought for a sec, oh, is he a heel? Is he not? Is he a heel? Yeah, he's definitely a heel, because if you didn't think he was a heel before, the kick to Cody's crotch begs to differ. And it definitely seems like, yeah, he is a heel. He is a heel, which is fair enough. Tony Khan did say in an interview recently that they were going to build like an establishment, kind of establish like their heels and establish like their, faces. And overall it was really good. And of course after that, Cody Rhodes gets kicked in the crotch. He's attacking him, and then Dustin comes out, which I was really happy to see, because obviously at AEW's All Out, Dustin obviously was one of the members of the family, which I was really shocked. I'm like, your brother's not gonna be here and everything. So it was nice to see him come out. Bit weird that he was in full makeup, like as if he knew it was going to happen. And I just like to think that he was just randomly trying on makeup, and then coincidentally he just was looking at it through the security cameras. Hard to kind of spin it in a way that sounds believable. But then shortly after that, and then who else but bloody Jack Swagger, as I want to call him, came out, and man, that guy's a monster. It's like that. I unfortunately, when I used to watch WWE, I kind of only caught him in his early days, but he's like twice the size he was when I last saw him. And I know that he's gone on, and he's like, even the announcers say he's undefeated in MMA, which I didn't know. That was incredible. And the man looks like an absolute monster. He was throwing people around. The guy managed to do this power bomb onto a table with Dustin, and Dustin's not a small guy. He's bloody huge and probably weighs a fair amount. And it looked seamless. It looked like a monster, and the way they all stood there at the end, that last camera shot, you had the Young Bucks, the Rhodes, and all that on the floor, and them all standing strong. No sign of Kenny Omega and John Moxley. They had done their thing out back, but it was a good show. First good show. I really was hopeful. I know a lot of people bragging about how the ratings have come in. They got more ratings than NXT, which was shown on the same night, but I think a lot of people forget that it was their first premiere show, while this was NXT's continuation show. And a lot of people will find that this isn't going to be like a one burst hit. This is going to be a marathon. We're going to have we're going to have to build up a bit and see how it does. So report back in 6 months and see how it goes, see if the ratings are still there. But overall, first show, it's good. The storylines are kind of building. There's kind of something going on. I'm looking forward to Full Gear. That's going to be good. I just find that now they seem to have established this unit in the form of Chris Jericho, Ortiz, Santana, Sammy Guevara, and all that. I just feel like now they need to establish maybe a few more faces in there. I know it sounds weird, but I always find that it's good when you have more faces than heels, but then make the heels really make them really dastardly and really monstrous, so that it takes all these faces to bring down the heels, and they come across as this organisation that everyone's trying to take down. That's always a good storyline. I get that AEW don't want to go for the classic kind of WWE with Evolution and all that, but it was good. First overall show was good. It wasn't perfect, but it definitely stood out, and it really goes to show that there was a healthy alternative. And there's not much more to say. I wanted to keep this nice and short. Well, all I can say is I look forward to the next show, and that we've got Full Gear coming within a month, so that would be good to watch and everything and see how things develop. Obviously, they're going to have to build up a little bit more storyline, and obviously next week we get to start the Tag Team Championships, which will be really good. That tournament's going on, and hopefully we'll get a bit more tag team action, because that's the one thing that was a bit lackluster in this show. We had the 6-man tag, but I just felt like that after what the Young Bucks have shown us, they've shown us what can be in tag team. Like, look at All Out. The tag team matches there were absolutely fantastic. Jurassic Express versus SCU, and the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers in that harrowing, bloody, what's it, Escalera de la Muerte or something like that. Sorry for butchering that, Spanish people. Mexican people, actually. But yeah, overall it was really good. I'm gonna probably like end it here because I don't want to keep spouting nonsense and constantly umming and ahhing because I do enough of that anyways. So anyways, just like don't forget to, like, share and describe. Feel free to come back to me. This is my first YouTube video, so I would like to hear feedback and that. Anything I can improve, I'm willing to grow on. So, like, if there's anything wrong with sound, video quality, if there's anything you'd like to see here in the background, it's kind of going for a plain, boring wall right now. If you want to see anything in the background, just feel free to like leave a comment or anything, to say anything that you want to. I would much appreciate it. I'm willing to listen to any kind of advice you guys have out there, and just, what more can I say? Overall, just, have a good day, take care, look after yourself, be good if you can't be good, be careful if you can't be careful. I can't help you. Anyways, bye.